Hey, what up, man? So this is about why they don't teach economics in school. The more time you have on this planet, the more you get to look at things and start understanding, man. There's no such thing as a coincidence. And uh, I remember, in order to even take economics, there was only one economics class. That was a gifted, I think, gifted slash AP class, I want to say. And it's crazy to how you understand how much and how close economics are to is literally just math, right? Depending upon math, that as much math as you're taught, you know, 2 plus 2 is 4, and polynomials and isosceles angles and all this stuff, right? They never bring business into it. Well, why? Well, they don't want you to bring business into it because it's very important that you don't understand how business is supposed to work and the power you have in business. Supply and demand is the basic business concept, but you only learn it through learning about business. And the most important factor of supply and demand is you as the customer, because if there's no demand for your product, then there ceases to be a supply of it. We're seeing this here with a lot of people starting to finally wake up and fight against these big corporations, Disney and Netflix in particular. Also, we're seeing it on the opposite end of where you have laws and things that are important to business, like fiduciary responsibility. So like, it's a term that I heard before but never even really think of, but now it's on everybody's mind. Why? Because Elon Musk is pretty much forcing the takeover and buying out Twitter. So again, it's very important that you understand as to how they want to keep you as a worker, and you're not going to be able to make it, man, as a worker. All right. Going forward, the thing that's about to hit here, and as much debt that the country's in, supply chain, food, oil, gas, all those things, man, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to just make it with a 9 to 5 job, even with the raised prices. Okay, you guys begged and begged for this $15 an hour, and now lo and behold, they're offering $15 an hour, but people don't want to work. And then on top of that, even with the $15 an hour, you're gonna be barely making it, because they're going up exponentially on housing prices. They're saying how millennials not even going to be able to afford a home, and then they're going up on the rent prices, as to where now you're still going to be struggling even more so, because they're going up on rent by 30+%. You know what I'm saying, in some areas. So with all those factors being there, maybe, just maybe, you might want to start learning a little bit about business and the basics, because again, like I said, it's a reason why they don't teach us economics in school, because you start with the kids. That's why I keep telling you guys, because why? The kids become the adults. All right, it's a chain of events, man. It's just time, and this is why all of this stuff that they're going on, they're targeting the kids and trying to teach them these things that are inappropriate, and they're trying to indoctrinate. I repeat, indoctrinate them extremely early, and to make these things, household words, household phrases, household concepts, even at the lowest of the lowest percentages. Okay. Alternative lifestyle only represents 6% of the American population. Okay, period. Right, and then a certain version of the alternative lifestyle, people that have a identity disorder, we'll just say that, represents less than 1% of the population. So if and when something represents less than 1% of the population, how and why is it so important that they force it upon your children for them to learn about the concepts of it? Well, why? They want to plant it in their mind, and they want to get this thing to spread. That's how propaganda works. Okay, that's how grooming works. That's how a lot of these different things work. But more so importantly, how do you combat this stuff? How do you stop it? Because it's all backed by dollars, people, and we have to start fighting stuff with our dollars. The moment that someone comes out and pretty much declares war on parenthood and the way you want to raise your children, whether it be the school system, whether it be a product or whatever, hey man, you need to fight back with that dollar, because again, they cannot survive without your money. All right. Shout out to Governor Ron DeSantis, what he did in Florida. Disney World is had one of the sweetest deals for before my lifetime, and now it's been ended. Why? Because they tried to declare war, and as a elected public official, well, hey, if you want to go to war, let's go to war. I speak for the people that have elected me, and people, regardless of their political affiliation have decided like, hey man, what the hell y'all got going on here? Why are we putting this stuff? And what's crazy is, how they had a video a long time ago, man, about all the sexual innuendos in the Disney movies. Like, I think it was like one of the biggest ones was like sex in when the stuff flew up in the air in The Lion King, and then they had motherfucking dicks everywhere, and all the thing, and then not to mention like the parent already always dies, or it's some type of conflict between the person rebelling against their parents. And again, man, what's the best way to get kids to get in is entertainment, cartoons, and all this stuff, and you're sending all these secret messages to the kids for all these years, But either way, it's imperative, it's important, it's extremely necessary for us, okay, to start taking back our power, okay, as the consumers, as the people that command where businesses go, all right? Because without your dollar, they can't exist. No matter how many interest groups or whatever, especially, again, man, the 5% of the alternative lifestyle committee cannot support 100% of any business. I'm telling you just can't. Not Disney, not Netflix, not the video game industry, not any of this stuff, bro. And when they start to, again, somehow take the word and the cause up for the minority, okay? The minority never outweigh the wants. I'll say this again. I'm gonna keep saying it. The wants of the minority never outweigh the needs of the majority, okay? The wants of the minority never outweigh the needs of the majority. And by business, just simple business principle, okay, you need the majority. So understand that when you are the majority, you have the power, but we have to start moving in that manner, okay, in order to make these businesses and these companies know and learn, hey, if you have an interest or a problem, you want to support something on your individual basis, by all means do that, okay? But if and when you're going to turn my entertainment, my products, my this, my that, to where I have to be forced to try and support something I do not believe in with my dollars, well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my dollars away. And plenty of people that have stepped in the gap to become this. I think even Dollar Shave Club did that, where they stepped in to say this, and then they turned on some other stuff, or I forget what it was. I forget if it was alternative lifestyle or a woman's issue, So again, man, you have to whoop these businesses with your dollar, bro. All right. Now, I'm a huge, you see the shirt, man. I'm a huge comic book fan. But you know what I'm not doing? I promise you, I will not be paying for one movie that I'm still going to watch for Marvel. Okay? However I come about watching a Marvel movie, I shall not pay for it. As much as I love going to the theater and watching it, 3D, IMAX, all that stuff, Dolby surround sound, hey, I'm going to make that sacrifice. Keep my little $40, because usually me and my son, at least, if not my other kids, and hey, I'm going to be entertained by their hard-earned dollars for free. All right. And again, as people, man, that's who you, as the literal lifeblood of business, okay? As literal lifebloods of fucking business, bro, we have to start doing that. All right, bro. We volunteered, okay, or laid it down and followed it when they made us say, oh, we're staying in the house. So these businesses did what the government told them, and they were closed down. They weren't open for us to go shop and all these other things. So why can't you do the same thing? Because you've already done it. That's the one good thing about that came out of the quote unquote lockdown. You learned that, hey man, I can just stay my ass in the house. And we have to start doing that willingly, okay, since we did it forcefully before. But the crazy thing about doing something that you're forced to do, that you just learn that you're capable of doing it. So especially when it comes to these businesses, man, just like you couldn't go out for 30 days to some places for several months and spend your hard-earned money, hey, you can do the same thing, man. All right, with all your freedoms. The wonderful thing about it now is, hey, I can save my money and not give Disney a penny, not give Netflix a penny, not give anybody else who's trying to force something upon me that I don't believe in my hard-earned dollars. And I have the freedom to get out here and find something else to spend my money on. Okay? So again, man, it's very important that we understand the reason as to how and why economics isn't taught in schools, and start learning a lot of those concepts ourselves, and more importantly, start teaching them to our kids, because our kids are going to be our replacements. Our kids are going to be the future. Our kids are going to be a result. And start demanding also, man, just like you doing these things to fight back against the curriculum that is being taught, that is and shouldn't be taught in school systems. As parents, if we're going to send our pay our taxes, let me address this too. So a lot of people say, hey man, you shouldn't put your kids in the public school system and all this. Well, the hell if I'm not, because bro, if you are a property owner, bro, you're paying for that. Okay, if you're a taxpayer, you are paying for that. So no, it's not. I'm not just gonna pay for public school and try to send my kid to private school. No, man, I pay for this. So being that I'm paying for this, especially if y'all see how high damn property taxes is, the percentage of huge. That's one thing you never know until you get grown, right? For one, there is no free lunch. A lot of these, I tell you, man, I don't want to get off in a rabbit hole, but a lot of these things that were said, bro, we need to start bringing back. Because again, our generation is the last one to even know anything about it. A lot of these colloquialisms and things that were said, man, we have to keep this stuff alive. Not only keep it alive, but revive it and teach it to the next generation, because they're purposely and deliberately getting away to it from where the kids will never know anything about it. They won't even know to fight back. They won't even know to say these things. They won't even know anything about, government spending and all these things, and how, like, hey, somebody's gonna have to pay for that. It's this whole entitlement, and I don't have to do anything, and I should just be given free money. This UBI thing, bro, is extremely, extremely dangerous. And a lot of kids, you got to think about how many kids were able to get, all the J's and the Polo and the hell at this point, the Fendi and Gucci and whatever else, they seen everybody ball out and ball up while they ain't got to go to work, bro. Again, it's deeper than what it is on the surface, bro. It always is. Okay, they purposely wanted to give this to the adults, especially the adults that didn't have a job or didn't want to work anyway, to sit back and get all this free money, to think to put this in the minds of the children that this is the way it should be for them when they're adults. Okay, but hey, man, this thing that went a little bit longer than it should have went. I said everything I got to say, man. And hey, that's it on that one. I'll catch you on the next one.